Hello, welcome to sort of a short little test run of trying to play a little bit of this Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition, which is a game from 1998. There it is. They enhanced it, re-released it for modern computers a couple of years back. I played this back when it came out. I got into Dungeons and Dragons in a small way, really young. Back with Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, which was 2nd edition essentially. When I was in elementary school, we had the core rule books, we had a starter kit, and we tried to sort of figure it out, and we never really did. But my brother and I made a lot of characters and made a huge map at one point on a bunch of poster boards, and never actually played. But, I mean, 2nd edition was really complicated, and I don't know that I could really play it in a pen and paper version now as a 40-some-odd-year-old adult. It was intense, rules-wise. The number crunch was a thing. I think 3rd and 5th edition are much improvements.
They say that history is the greatest of all teachers, and that tales of past deeds define who we are in the present, and what we shall be in the future. It is said that such tales shall, with each telling, illuminate us all with the light of truth. I shall tell you of such a tale. It is a tale quite familiar to me, for I have spent nearly a lifetime piecing it together and chronicling it here within this book. For years I have pondered its passages, studying every line, committing each word to memory. Perhaps now, in the telling of it, I shall at last find the answers I seek. Our story takes place in the northern region of Faerun, known as Icewind Dale. It is a harsh, frozen land, cut off from the rest of the world by a wall of jagged peaks called the Spine of the World. For centuries, the icy plains of the Dale have been home to the barbarian peoples of the Uthgard and Regedman. Huddled together in small, closely knit tribes, the barbarians lived simple lives, free, proud, and fiercely independent. Until the day an archmage named Erakan came to Icewind Dale. With an army of mercenaries, Erakan sought to conquer the north and force the fierce barbarians into slavery. Long weeks of battle followed, and the scattered barbarian tribes suffered terrible losses. Defeat seemed inevitable. In their darkest hour, a barbarian shaman named Jared came forth and demanded a council between all the remaining tribes of the north. A respected warrior, Jared persuaded the council to put aside their differences and unite against Erakan. Strengthened by a new sense of purpose, the barbarians rallied behind their new leader. The combined might of the Northmen proved more than a match for Erakan, who had counted on the division of the tribes. Wave after wave of barbarian warriors tore into Erakan's hired army, forcing them on the defensive and ultimately into full retreat. As his army crumbled around him, Erakan had time for one last desperate act before his enemies descended upon him. Drawing upon his remaining power, the Archmage breached the planar boundaries, tearing open a portal to the lower planes. The foolish Archmage's cries of victory immediately turned to shrieks of terror as the hideous and twisted shapes of demonkind materialized from the portal and poured onto the battlefield. The sudden appearance of the demons drove the combatants, barbarian and mercenary alike, to turn to meet the new threat side by side. The remaining warriors bravely charged the portal to drive the hellspawn back, and were slaughtered by the hundreds. As his people fell around him, the barbarian shaman, Jared, looked up from the blood-drenched snow of the battlefield and caught sight of a lone figure high upon a ridge in the distance. Jared immediately recognized this vision as an omen from his god Tempus, and in that instant, he knew what had to be done. Shouting cries to his god, he charged through the ranks of the demons and plunged into the portal. As Jared's blood fused with the energies of the portal, an explosion of white light engulfed the battlefield. When the light subsided, the demons were gone, and the portal was closed. In its place hovered a disk of solid stone. Frozen within the center of the disk was Jared's body, locked in his final moment of agony, in his final moment of triumph, for all eternity. But that is not the end of our tale. It is but the beginning.
Wasn't expecting the voiceover. Or, in fact, any of that narration to happen when I clicked on the game. So there was, like, the Icewind Dale base game in Hearts of Winter, which I think was an expansion. I might have to look into that. Anyway, this is a game that came out shortly after the original Baldur's Gate game came out. The game engine is the same, it runs very similarly. It's a little bit less narratively focused than Baldur's Gate. You actually make a full party rather than being one character and you recruit NPCs. But on the other hand, I actually played this game all the way through at one point back in the day, whereas Baldur's Gate I never made much progress on. Baldur's Gate 3 recently came out, and I've been like, maybe I should replay these games. Try to actually beat Baldur's Gate. And you might say, well, why aren't you playing Baldur's Gate then? And the answer is because I'm playing the Icewind Dale Rime of the Frost Maiden campaign. I'm running that with my in-person group of 5th edition D&D players right now. And I was like, you know what? We just started it, and I'm trying to remember, what Icewind Dale is like. Maybe I should start playing this again just a little bit, and at least see what kind of memories it jogs for me before I do a deep dive into all the source books that I have sitting next to me. So, yeah. This is going to be a relatively short episode. My plan is to basically get the game going, kind of show you character creation, what that looks like, and maybe just start the game and then save and be done there. And I finished Fell Seal Arbiter's Mark recently, a couple of weeks ago at this point, in real time. And I'm not sure that I'm going to try to do a similar multiple videos a week upload schedule like I did with that one. Maybe, if I really get into the game. But I don't want to put a lot of pressure on myself. I'm doing this all as a hobby. I'm not making any money from it. I'm just doing it for fun. Recording the game so that I can both share it with friends and also as a means of motivating myself to actually complete the game, which is a mixed bag of results if you look at all the games I've started and not finished on the channel. Maybe I'll go back and do some of those again at some point. But there's just so many games to play. It's not fair. So let me show you character generation. I'll go to pre-generate. I actually did this off camera a few weeks ago because this can be quite time-consuming. So you pick a character, or you start making a character. You pick their gender. Gender doesn't really matter except for the character portraits you have available to you. You pick their race. We have human, elf, half-elf, dwarf, halfling, gnome, and half-orc. Those were the basic 2nd edition races. And it actually gives you a little bit of information about them, what they're like in the Forgotten Realms, which is the Faerun is the name of the world in the Forgotten Realms, or the main continent or something. I'm not entirely clear on that, but the setting is called Forgotten Realms. The land itself is called Faerun. Humans are the predominant race in Faerun. Humans rule most of the significant empires and kingdoms in the realms. They are the most social and tolerant of the races, excepting perhaps the halflings. Humans may advance in any class and are also the only race that can dual class, but they may not multi-class. That's a second edition thing. Elves tend to be shorter and slimmer than humans. Their features are finely chiseled and delicate, and they speak in melodic tones. Elves are looked upon as being frivolous and aloof. They concern themselves with natural beauty, dancing, frolicking, and other similar pursuits. Dancing and frolic. Anyway, their humor is clever, as are their songs and poetry. There are 6 racial divisions of elves within the realms: gold elves, moon elves, wild elves, sea elves, dark elves, also called drow, and winged elves of Ariel. Elves get some bonuses: resistance to charm and sleep. They get infravision, which is dark vision in modern slang. +1 Thaco. Thaco is 2-hit armor class 0. The bonus with bows, short swords, and long swords. They have a penalty to opening locks, but they have benefits to pick locks, move silently, and hide in shadows. And +1 dex and -1 constitution. Half-elves are a mix of human and elven blood. They are handsome folk with good features from each of their parent races. A half-elf has the curiosity, inventiveness, and ambition of their human ancestors, and the refined senses, love of nature, and artistic tastes of their elven ancestors. They also have modifications. Dwarves are short and stocky, easily identifiable by their size and shape. They have ruddy cheeks, dark eyes, and dark hair. Dwarves tend to be dour and taciturn. They are given to hard work and care little for most humor. They enjoy beer, ale, mead, but most of all, they love gold. There are 4 racial divisions of dwarves within the realms: shield dwarves, gold dwarves, wild dwarves, and Durgar. They get also some bonuses. I'm going to read all the bonuses. Halflings are short, generally plump people, very much like small humans. Their faces are round and broad, and often quite florid. Their hair is typically curly, and the tops of their feet are covered with coarse hair. Overall, they prefer the comforts of home to dangerous adventuring. They enjoy good living, rough humor, and homespun tales. There are 3 racial divisions of halflings within the realms: the Harefoot, Tallfellow, and Stout. They have some modifications. Gnomes, kin to dwarves. Interesting, didn't know that. Gnomes are noticeably smaller than their distant cousins. Gnomes, as they proudly maintain, are also less rotund than dwarves. Don't know. Don't body shame, guys. Most have dark tan or brown skin, white hair, and rather large noses. Gnomes have lively and sly senses of humor, especially for practical jokes. They have a love for nature that is only matched by their love for gems and jewelry. There are 2 racial divisions of gnomes within the realms: rock gnomes and deep gnomes, also Svrfneblin. I have no idea if I said that right. And the half-orc. Half-orcs are born to the union of human and orc parents. They are as tall as humans, but a little heavier due to their muscular builds. Their greenish pigmentation, sloping forehead, jutting jaw, prominent teeth, and coarse body hair make their lineage plain for all to see. Half-orcs are known for their great strength. The trouble with racial coding. Anyway, they noted humans can dual class but not multi-class. So multi-classing in 2nd edition works much differently than it has since from 3rd on. In 2nd edition, each class has a different 8 experience point levels at which they level up. So like a fighter levels up at 2,000 and a mage would level up at 4,000 or something like that. I don't know all the details. So if you multi-class, you split all the experience you get between both classes evenly at all times. So you're leveling up slowly in both of them, but like you can have off levels because they're different things. Dual class is totally different from that. Dual classing, you pick one class and you level that up. And you get to a certain level and you say, okay, I've done enough of this class, and then you stop doing that class entirely, switch to the other class that you want to do, and level that one up. But you don't get any of the benefits of the first class you did until you exceed the level you stopped it at with your second class. So if you wanted to be a fighter thief, for example, and you started with thief and you're like, I'm going to go until I get 100% find traps, which is important in this game, and you level it up to, say, level 6, and then you switch to fighter, and now you can't do any of your thief stuff until you get your fighter up to level 6. And then all your thief stuff gets unlocked again. It's really weird, and I'm glad they got rid of it. Anyway, so then we would pick our class. Classes are restricted by race in this version. So gnomes can multi-class, but they have to be fighter. They have to go illusionist instead of generic mage. Gnomes can only be illusionist mages. The triple fighter mage thief, I think, is only available to half elves. Yeah, there's a bunch of, like, half elves have the most. Let's grab a regular elf and go look at classes. Yeah, much shorter list. So, it's really kind of interesting. Oh, they get to be shamans instead of druids. That's weird. So, it's just weird. They had so many restrictions back then. Then you pick your alignment, your standard alignment, and then you get to roll your stats. And this is the part that takes forever, because this is a video game, not a role-playing game, not a tabletop game where you can take the stats and kind of build a character and have fun with that. This is a video game where if you don't have good stats, you will struggle, possibly, unless you're, like, really good. So you can re-roll, and this is not a point buy system like was introduced. I don't know if 2nd edition had a point buy system. I don't remember. I always rolled for stuff. But basically, what I'd do is I'd go in here and I'd re-roll until I get something in the high 80s or low 90s, preferably. And rather than having a certain number of points and the stats get more expensive as they go up, what you can do is drop a bunch of things and then bump these things all the way up as far as you can, basically. And I spent a long time, like 45 minutes, I think, maybe an hour, a full hour, just re-rolling, trying to get stats, the best stats that I have the least trouble. Also interesting to note, strength, when you're a fighter, has this slash something out of 100. That's exceptional strength, which increases your hit bonus and damage output, but only for fighters. Everybody else, it's just 18 and then up to 19. Fighters have 18, 0-1 through 0-0. 0-0 I think is the highest, and 0-1 is the lowest. And then it goes to 19 if you increase it further in the game. Like I said, really complicated stuff back then. So, yeah. Alright, good enough. I'm not actually keeping this character. And then you get to pick your proficiencies. You're going to have 2 hands and slings. It's very bad. And you can pick the spells that you start with. And then pick which spell you have memorized to start with. And then you pick what your in-game sprite's going to look like.
My aim shall be true.
And then you pick a voice. And I am actually going to have to do this part still when I actually go back to do this. Okay. So, with that out of the way, new game. Alright, so I made some people. Jeez, that scrolls too fast. So I have Mara, I based them on the extended Sienna family, which is my family of elves that I made back in college, I think. Shoot, they've got the same... oh, I did multiples. Okay. And then... that one, and... that's everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Except I have 2 Elmirds, so let's see. Okay, so that gives me Fighter Mage, my Paladin, which is Cavalier specialty. She's the face of the party. She's got the high charisma, so she gets to be in the front and do all the talking. A Cleric Ranger. I didn't max these. I maxed out their stats as best I could, but I didn't pick the best combination classes necessarily. I picked kind of stuff that I would enjoy. And we have a Fighter Cleric, and a Fighter Mage, and a Fighter Mage, and a Fighter Thief. Yeah, there we go. So it's not quite exactly the party that, you know, if you were maxing it out, I think you'd pick 1, 2, 3, 4 Fighter Mages and a Fighter Thief and a Fighter Cleric, probably something like that. But I kind of had characters in mind that when I made them in college, and I kind of tried to stick with that as best I could. So,
our tale begins here, in the quiet fishing village of Easthaven, one of the so-called 10 towns of Icewind Dale.
Easthaven, huh?
The tiny community is hardly a town, but rather a collection of ramshackle huts crowded together upon the icy shores of Lech Dineshire.
I think it's more of an actual
Here,
city
within
in
a
my
dimly lit
campaign.
tavern, a group of travelers sit huddled around a table, swapping tales and making grand plans for the future, completely unaware of the part they are to play in the events that are about to unfold.
I don't know why, but the narrator's voice, the narrator. Goodness, this is scrolling so much slower than the than the voice did. The narration. The narrator puts me in mind of Neil deGrasse Tyson for some reason.
What's this? New face in town, eh? Well met, stranger. The name is Hrothgar, originally of Hillsfar. But now, after years of traveling up, down, and under Faerun, I am content to call this town my home. Who might you be?
Greetings, Hrothgar. My name is Mara Sianna, or I am as none of your concern. Yeah, that'll be friendly.
Well then, welcome to Easthaven. Whatever your business in these parts might be, I would offer you this small piece of advice. While you're in my town, you do well to be on your best behavior.
Sure.
These folk are under my protection, and anyone who would seek to do harm to them in any way shall answer to me.
Okay.
That said, I'll let you get back to your cups. I'm sure you've had a long journey, and you'll find there's no better way to shake off the cold of the road than by downing a few mugs of Grisella's best. And if you're in need of lodging, I would recommend talking to Quimby over at the Snowdrift Inn, over on the east side of town. Equipment and supplies can be purchased next door, at Pomab's Emporium. Pomab's prices are a bit high, even for a Kalashite. But you'd be better off well-equipped and short of coin than the other way around. Ill-prepared travelers don't last long in these parts. Once you've had a chance to rest up and get your bearings, come by and see me at my house. It's just a couple doors west of here. There's some business I would discuss with you. Farewell.
Farewell. Awesome. Your journal has been updated. Alright, so let's see. Let's take a look around. What have we got? We've got return to game, area map, okay, the journal, day 0, hour 7, 2 Myrtle, 1281. 1281. I should compare that to when the Rime of the Frost Maiden campaign is set. Today our party arrived in the snowy lakefront community known as East Haven. Weary and half frozen from the road, we hastily made our way into the local tavern to find a hot meal and some friendly conversation. Scarcely had we seated ourselves at a table by the hearth when we were approached by a burly warrior who called himself Hrothgar. He seemed friendly enough, but something in his eyes warned us that he wasn't one to cross. He politely asked us to come see him at his home, a couple doors west of the tavern, to discuss business of some sort. Okay. No quests done. I can add entries to this. That's interesting. So I could... ooh. So you could actually keep your own notes. That's pretty clever, actually. And then we've got our inventory. So we start off with quarterstaves, and that's it. This is how our inventory looks. It tells us our Thaco, which, by the way, 2-hit armor class 0. So you roll a d20, you subtract your Thaco from it, and then if that gets you to, and then if that is equal to or under the armor class you're trying to hit, you land a hit. Strength modification -2. So your roll is additional, or your Thaco is base. So basically her base is 20, and -2 is 18. No, you subtract the roll from your Thaco, right? Is that right? 18, and you roll a 20, you'd hit -2. Yeah, so I think that's right. Goodness, I can't remember. Thaco is so strange. 3rd edition made it so it's just addition. You have +3 to hit, you roll a d20, you add the 3 to it, and if you equal or exceed your target's armor class, that's a success. I'm not saying that this is impossible to figure out, but it's not as intuitive as it could be. 12 hit point maximum, 12 out of 12. She does 4 to 5 damage with her fist, and she has an armor class of 6, base is 10, and her dexterity is high enough that she gets -4. I can change the colors, that's good. I don't think I can change the profile picture, so hopefully I'm satisfied with what I've got. And then I can look at everybody's inventory, and we all start with a quarterstaff, and that's it. We have 800 gold. That's our inventory. Oh, and then our character record. Interesting. Information customize. Oh, I can change. Oh, okay, cool. So I can change that. I can change the voice, the colors, the script. Okay, cool. Cool. And then, so, neutral good, half elf, human, because only humans can be paladins. Only humans, that's it. Only humans. Otherwise, they'd all be, technically, they should all be full elves, but again, kind of restricted by the stuff that I was able to pick. Neutral good, and neutral good. I picked the same alignment for everybody that I could. Again, paladins have to be lawful. No other choices. The benefit of doing Mara as a paladin, and you'll note that I did not max out her stats. She should have an 18 constitution. But I got to roll with a high strength modifier for the exceptional strength, so I went with that. Is that the charisma, a paladin's charisma has to be at minimum 17. So every time I did a roll with her, the charisma was basically taken care of. It was 17 or 18. That was it. Those were the only choices. I just had to worry about the other stat, getting enough to distribute in the other stats. So I think her wisdom has minimum 13 too. That's probably why it's 13. She's proficient with the longsword and the sword and shield style. You're proficient with warhammer and mace and 2-weapon style. Interesting. I don't remember a lot of the stuff that I did for these people, but it was a little while ago. Warhammer. Oh, that's because of the ranger. Okay, so I can have a dual-wielding cleric ranger, which I went with instead of druid, just because I figured, because Leanne should be a druid. Fighter cleric actually works for Nalia. Nalia I feel like fighter cleric works for her. The way I designed her back in the day. Warhammer and Morningstar, and Warhammer and Mace. And you can dual wield those, so that's pretty good. Your fighter mage, longsword and longbow, perfect, because Almeiron is an arcane archer as originally envisioned. Because he's the most closely based on myself, obviously, Almeiron. With the lowest charisma score. Nah, not the lowest. But I didn't care. You don't care about charisma for any of these people. They don't care. They don't need charisma. Mara's the one who talks to people. Fighter mage for Baron. Baron is longsword and longbow and sword and shield style. And then Edward is a thief proficient in daggers and 2-weapon style. Okay. Neat. And then the mage book, which / priest scroll. So these are the spells you have memorized. These are the spells that you have access to. Armor of Faith, Bless, and you have 3 spells. Leanne has 3 spells she can memorize per day, and so she has Bless and 2 castings of Cure Light Wounds. Once you use it, you have to rememorize it and rest. Do a full rest to rememorize spells. And you have 2 Cure Wounds and Doom. Okay. I have Sleep and Identify. So the clerics have access to all the spells, but the mages have to write them in their book. So Almeiron only knows Sleep and Identify, and Baron only knows Mage Armor and Magic Missile. And you don't have any spells. And then the options. Okay. So.
Yes? Okay.
Yeah, so we can pick a formation. We can have people walk around in formation, sort of. So this is, walking around. We can try to talk to people. Mars can talk. Haven't seen you in town before. You come from the south. Yes, wanted to ask about East Haven. A visitor to this town. I must take my leave. Yeah, we'll be nice-ish, nicest. East Haven. Lived here for quite a span. I have. Things have been getting worse of late, though. Do you mean the weather? Aye, the weather's been going from bad to worse. Never seen it get so cold this early in the year, and there's no sign of it letting up. With all this snow, the passes to the south are going to get snowed in early. I wanted to ask other things. Where can I find Hrothgar's house? The center of the northern part of town. It's the one with the gaps and the overhang. Hrothgar swears he's going to fix it, but I'll believe that when I see it. He's always running around trying to take care of everyone else. Why are you going to see him anyway? Planning to join his expedition? Expedition? Yeah, word is Hrothgar's been so rattled by that messenger from Kuldahar collapsing dead at the front door of the Temple of Tempest that he wants to put together a band to go see what's going on down south. I mean, why wouldn't you be rattled by a messenger collapsing dead? What did the messenger say? Damned if I know. Only Everard over there at the temple and Hrothgar would know for sure, I suppose. Still, it's enough to get the two of them riled up. Can't be good. Maybe I'll ask them about it. Can you tell me a little bit about the town? Since you're new in town, you'll probably want to get a room at the Snowdrift Inn. It's on the eastern side of town. The innkeeper, Quimby, he's a right enough sort. He should have plenty of rooms available, but he just got an elf guest from the south, so at least one room is taken. I must take my leave. Hi, Grisella. I have to come talk to you. Behind the bar. Hello there, dearie. Welcome to the Winter's Cradle Tavern. My name's Grisella. I own and operate this fine establishment. What can I get for you? I have some questions for you. Sorry, dearie, I haven't the time for chit-chat with you. I have a tavern to run, you know. If you are looking to catch up on the local gossip, I suggest you buy around or mingle with some of the other patrons. All right, how about a drink? Drink? Of course, dearie. After all, this is a tavern. Plenty to drink here. Heh heh. Heh heh. Yes, indeed. Well, what do you have? My, aren't you the sharp one? How about that drink? Well, what do you have? Yes, well, you see, I'm a bit of a blind right now. I've just run out of everything. Nothing to offer you in the way of a drink at the moment. I've run out of everything? Well, the tavern hasn't run completely dry. I do have some stock down in the cellar, but... But what? This is rather embarrassing, but I'm having somewhat of a pest problem down in that dirty old cellar, and I'm afraid to go down there. I do so hate bugs. Just the thought of those nasty creepies and crawlies sends shivers down my spine. Is there anything I can do to help? That's awfully sweet of you, dearie, but I don't expect you to go to any trouble on my account. I'm sure I'll think of something. Have no fear, madam. I shall see to it that the pests down below trouble you no further. Wonderful. The stairs to the cellar are in the back room. Now you be careful down there, dearie, and don't let any of those little buggers creep back up here, all right? Okay. I will get to that, though. We might want to go buy some armor first. You know what? Since we're going to come back here for that anyway, here's the town.
Sure.
Let's see. What are you kids doing? Is that a real blade? Ask if we can keep him. Come from far away, don't you? What's this? Fishmonger. We weren't paying any attention when we came into town. Let's see. Which one of these is the store? What's in here? That's Hrothgar.
Sure.
We don't want you yet.
Sure. I'm here.
Yeah, I know.
I'm ready.
Good!
Okay. I trust you.
That's not...
Sounds good to me.
shop.
Okay.
Where's the shop?
I trust you.
Hrothgar, you forgot to tell me where the shop is. You're not a
Certainly.
shop.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, I think that's the temple.
I'll get right on it.
Yeah, it looks like a temple to me. This glyph-ordered door set into the floor appears to lead down into a chamber beneath the temple. Doesn't appear to be a way to open it. That's fine. I don't want the temple. I want weapons. Where is the weapon shop? Or rather, the shop, period. So that was the fishmonger.
Okay.
So there's a fog of war and everything, so I can't actually... My characters can only see what's in the lit up area, but the map itself at least gets explored as you go. This is the tavern. That's the fishmonger, who I wouldn't expect to sell me broadswords or anything. Pomeb's Emporium. There we go. I just went the wrong direction. Guys, go in.
Okay. I trust you.
Good. What is this? More barbarians come to my shop? No doubt with nothing to barter with but more wolf pelts and polished stones. Very well, let us get this over with. What do you want? Barbarians? I think you're mistaken, friend. I'd watch where you wag that tongue of yours, shopkeeper. All this snow hasn't put me in the best of moods. Or, right, I'd like to see what you have for sale. What do you got for sale? I don't care. And I would like to see some coin before I go to the trouble of showing you my wares. I have no patience for those who are just browsing. There's no need to be rude, I assure you. I intend to buy. Look, you toad, I have gold and I need supplies. Or, maybe it would be easier if I cut your greedy little heart out and just take what I want. What do you think about that? Mara's lawful good. I have to be nice. How dare you speak to me in such a manner? Do you know who I am? No, but I'm sure you're going to tell me. Yes, you are a pompous little man who runs a little shop in a little town at the arse end of Faerun. Or, I don't care who you are, I just want to buy something. No, but I'm sure you're going to tell me. Humph. I am Palmed Akazmar, royal diplomatic envoy of Kalimshan and appointed overseer of the northern caravan routes. Alright. Forgive me, your lordship, I had no idea. Sure, and I'm the king of Mithril Hall. Ha! Or, oh, I see, your appearance as a lowly shopkeeper is just a clever disguise to throw off any would-be assassins, am I right? As much as I want to be sarcastic with this guy, I really just want to buy stuff. Yes, well, where I am from, one would normally be beaten for such insolence. Really? Be thankful that I am a merciful man. Now what can I do for you? Other than die a horrible, painfully slow death, you can do nothing for me. I'd like to see what you have for sale, or never mind, farewell. Oh. I was hoping he'd ask me I would like to buy something. Okay. So let's see, we got chainmail. Chainmail is made of interlocking rings that is always worn over a layer of padded fabric or soft leather to prevent chafing and lessen the impact of blows. Gets your armor class to 5. Splint mail, armor class is 4. Hide armor, armor class is 6. Leather armor, armor class 8. Studded leather, armor class 7. Helmets are useful in this game because it protects against critical hits. Okay, let's get a long sword and sell your quarterstaff. You don't need that. Let's get you some splint mail. You're going to be in the front. And a large shield. Then you can do the 2 weapon fighting. Let's see, mace does 1d6 plus 1. The Morning Star does 2d4. And the flail 1d6 plus 1. Let me see, 2d4 is between 2 and 8. Morning Star's better. And then you're the one who does... But he's out of Morning Stars. I see. Okay. Actually, back out.
Give the word. What do you want?
I want to look at your record. Warhammer and mace. Okay. And you... Shoot, I've made a mistake. You had the Morning Star and flail. Okay. Give that to you. You have the Morning Star... And you actually wanted a mace instead. My mistake.
On my way.
You just tell. I'll get right on it.
Okay. So that was a mistake. I didn't mean to buy that. What I meant to buy was a pair of maces. And then you want a longbow. That's expensive. And some arrows. And also a sword. You want some daggers. That's what you want. Whoops. Oh well. Okay, that's weapons sort of sorted. Get some studded leather. My fighter mages can't have any armor. So that does let me get some good armor for these two. Okay, so let's see. Longsword, sword and shield style. Good. Mace, 2-weapon style. Good. Warhammer, flail, Morningstar. Okay. So I should probably get you a shield since you're not. You have longsword, longbow. You have longsword and longbow and sword and shield style. You have daggers and 2-weapon style. Okay. 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 Can I afford another longbow? Do you have another longbow? Where's the bows? There they are. No, I'm not getting composite. That's too much. And then I think I accidentally bought a long. Yeah, so sell the quarterstaves. They're not worth anything. And get you a shield. And a helmet. And a helmet. And a helmet. And those two can't have helmets, and you also can't have a helmet. Okay, so those three get helmets, those three don't. I feel like I should probably get something ranged for you as well, just to be safe. Sling and bolt is cheap. Let's get you a short bow and some arrows. Okay, now let's take a look. Your longsword goes to you. So you have a longsword, you have a bow, you have arrows. You don't get any armor, because you're also a mage. You don't have a sword. I should probably get you. Should probably have gotten you a sword. And armor. And you have a helmet and a shield and armor. You have double maces. And armor, and a helmet, and you have a helmet, armor, a sword, and a shield. Awesome. You don't have any more long swords, right? Yeah, okay. I should probably... Yeah. Should probably get some kind of sword. You know, I'm going to hold off. Almarin will just have to shoot things with his bow for now. But I might get him a scroll case. And I might get you the potion bag. And then I might get you the gem bag. I don't know, those just seem useful. Hopefully they're useful. Okay, so let's see. We're good, we're good. We're good, we're good, and we're good. Yeah, okay. Okay, okay. So... Let's get out of here. This guy's a jerk.
I trust you.
Good. I might have to change your voice, Mara. You're the one I'm going to hear the most, and that's starting to annoy me.
Certainly.
Hang on. Let's actually do that. Where was that? Was that... Customize... Sounds...
You would do well to fear a woman's wrath.
Your time draws near.
Maybe.
Let's spill some blood.
Okay.
By Clangeddin's twin axes.
No.
Attack. I shall lead the way. Let us not waste time.
Maybe.
My aim shall be true. If you wish for my leadership, I shall give it.
Possibly.
Let me find some place to set camp. A stout sword and sturdy shield can take you far.
Onward to victory!
Let me at him.
I shall slay you all.
By Daedal's shield. Prepare to be destroyed.
Die, fool!
Dash and slash. Let's dance.
What? What's your... Will it tell me what your voice is anyway? Don't think it will tell you there. I feel like this is a random biography. Because this is for a mage. Definitely not for a paladin. It doesn't tell me which voice she already has. Which one did I like?
By Clangeddin's
No,
twin
not that
axes.
one.
Attack. I shall lead the way.
Either this one?
My aim shall be true.
No, let's go with this one. Okay. Just because she's the one I'm going to hear the most, because she's the leader. I was starting to get irritated by the, I trust you.
Very well.
That sounds better. Hello, bugs. Kill it.
Time to turn this one down to size.
Okay. Wooden casks of strong-smelling brews have been stacked in the corner. These racks hold numerous bottles of wine and other spirits. A thick layer of dust and cobwebs has settled over everything. Crates of foodstuffs line the walls of this damp cellar. Anything else to be seen?
Done.
Nope, doesn't look like it.
As you wish.
Hey. Any luck getting rid of those nasty bugs, dearie? My customers are getting pretty thirsty. It is done. Those bugs won't be troubling you anymore. Thank you, dearie. You're a lifesaver. Just do me one more favor. Keep this little bug problem between you and me. I don't want folks thinking Grisella's place isn't clean. Run along now. We have gained 5 gold. And 1,200 experience. Probably split amongst the whole party. That's not nothing, though. So, we want this. Yeah, so we got 200 experience, and she needs to get to 2250. And that 200 experience was split in 2 for my multi-class people. So she needs to get to level, to 1500 experience for cleric, and 2250 for ranger. 2000 for fighter, 1500 for cleric, 2500 for mage, and only 1250 for thief. The thief is going to level up a lot faster. So, anyway, there we go. That went longer than I was expecting. Help, quick save. That's my options. And this is going to rest, like do a full-on rest. So, yeah. I think for now I'm going to go ahead and call this. I'll do more talking to people. Like I said, I've played this game through, but it's been like over 20 years at this point since I actually played it. I'm pretty sure. But I'm glad it's working well, and it's about the way I remember it. And I might also do Baldur's Gate at some point. But like I said, I'm doing a pen and paper version of Icewind Dale right now. Who goes in front? Mara goes in front. Maybe this is the formation I'll keep for the moment. Although this is pretty standard. Just 2 ranks of 3. Swap those 2. Let's put my 2 shield users in front. There we go. Shield users in front, ranged people in the back, and then she can run forward and hit people too. Perfect. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna call it here. Save the game. This will be I don't know. I'll call it that for now. Save successful. So there we go. Yeah, like I said, I'll play more of this as we see how it goes. So if you watched this, thank you for watching. If you didn't watch this, you're not hearing me. And I will talk to you later. Bye for now.